Hey everybody, my name's Corey, and this
Please, I'm in zippers. Oh my gosh.
is my dog, Simon. He's definitely man's best friend, and he deserves a gift. So today, I'm going to show you how I made this collar. It smells so good. I started out by cutting a rectangle from this 5-ounce single shoulder I got from my local Tandy leather store. Then, I cut a 1-inch strap using this strap cutter tool. As long as your starting edge is straight, it's super easy to get straight straps with this thing. It's pretty awesome. I looked at my strap length as if I started with a plan or something. Then I decided to cut a second blank, but at 1/2 inch this time. I stacked my blanks and got a little bit more of an idea of what I wanted to do, and then I realized these would probably look a lot better with color. So then I brought out my professional dyeing tub. I decided to use this gorgeous forest green EcoFlow dye for the smaller strap, and it is very satisfying to pour out. I dipped my strap blank in the dye, and of course I was wearing gloves because responsible, right? But it turns out, these gloves were very porous. So I got a green thumb for a couple of days because I too am made of leather and it is hard to get the stuff off your skin. Using a funnel in my already dyed hands, I returned the dye back to its home, that way it can dye me again another day. Starting on a piece of the strap that I'm already planning on cutting off, I start applying dark mahogany EcoFlow. This is one of my absolute favorite dyes, and I love applying it in this pattern because sometimes the inconsistent coverage gives it a little bit of a marbled leather effect that I really like. And of course, I can't miss the backer sides, that would just look a little weird. I go over it one more time just to add a little bit more color into the leather, and then I start beveling my edges. I do the same with my smaller strap, and then compare the contrast between the colors. Even though they're dry to the touch, they're still drying, so they look really dark. Using toconol, I start burnishing my straps, and you can see a little bit of the dye lifting off in the toconol. That is a me problem. I was so excited to get this finished that I had no patience. They don't call it a virtue for no reason. I'm using this cool strap end punch, and I finally get to start hitting things. Using an empty marker I filled with dye, I fill in that area that I cut off with the strap end cutter. I got this fancy belt end template, so I start marking out where I'm going to cut my holes. Marking with my awl, I figure out where I'm going to put my rivets and the buckle tongue. Then using a 3/4 oblong punch, I smack out that buckle tongue slot and punch the rivet holes using this rotary punch that I got from Amazon that punches just enough to avoid being thrown away. I slide on this hastily made keep, which is an ironic name for this thing, and then slide on the buckle. I think this aged copper color is absolutely gorgeous. So much so I had to get the matching pair of rivets. I hammered down the rivets using an anvil on an anvil for some reason, and then I realized that my center is slightly too small, so I tried to center it so it at least looked like a symmetrical mistake. I pulled some basting tape out of the kitchen because I saw it in a video once, and used it temporarily to set my strap in place, that way I can try to get a stitch line in. I took a moment to admire where my project's at, and try to figure out how I wanted to finish it up. Leathercraft is the best craft because you can hit things and nobody can yell at you for it. I start setting my stitching holes that I fast forward through because I am punching a lot of holes and nobody has time to watch that. It's great because I was punching so many holes that my camera decided it had enough. I used this beautiful dark green Ritza Tiger thread and began the task of stitching all of these holes. Remember how I said that keep was ironic? Well, I had to use it to hold this D-ring in because the size I bought was slightly too small. This also made the keep slightly too small to go around the strap. Using brown Ritza thread, I lock in that buckle so it doesn't move around as much. I saddler stitched the green strap to the brown strap, and then had to figure out how to get the D-ring strap attached to the collar. So I used some good old-fashioned improv and my patented I don't know what I'm doing stitch. I gave my stitch line a little tappity and was about to admire my work when I realized I forgot the keep. So I did this really ugly stitch, but it's super secure, so I'm thinking I'm just going to hide it inside of the collar. And bing boom, you can't even tell it's there. I test fit to make sure everything's working properly, and I sit back excited because I finished my first collar. I'm fairly new to Leathercraft, and this is definitely my first collar I've ever made. Go ahead and leave your criticisms, but if it's not constructive, nah. Let's see what he thinks. What do you think, dude? I think he likes it. Thank you for watching. That was really fun. And I really hope you'll stick around for the next one. See you next time.